Okay, we have...
White Kelly, One Nation candidate from Maranoa, the only candidate driving the entire electorate.
Yep, the only person who came to our front door from One Nation, Pauline Hanson's. And what's some of your main policies?
Oh, Ange, there's so many. I mean, the Maranoa electorate is so massive. It's 729,000 square kilometres. I am the only candidate that's driven the entire electorate, and I've already done 15,000 kilometres, and I've just got the last leg to do. All up, I think there's only going to be about 3 or 4 towns that I don't get into, and that's because I've been cut off from rain. I got to spend 4 days in the car with Malcolm Roberts. That put me a little bit behind as well, so I couldn't wait. Heaps of policies depending on the area, but you know, this election isn't about bridges and roads. This election is about our rights and where we stand as Aussies. And why I joined One Nation is because they're the only party that I've seen that's consistently not operating out of self-interest, and they're consistently the guys that are solely focused on protecting Australia and Australians. And that's the sort of party I want to be with. I was just saying to Sam, when I went to join the party, I said, why should I join you guys? And they said to me, One Nation is the only party that will defend your right to disagree with us. And I really like the democracy principle in that. They're happy for disagreement because it increases the quality of the debate that we have around the subject so that we consider everybody's opinions. That way we make a better decision on legislation so it benefits everyone and gets those compromises right, not just pushing our own sole agenda. And the other thing I really liked about them is that I have to put the electorate and the people ahead of the party. So I have so much confidence in the integrity of this particular party that if I had another Member of Parliament that was with One Nation, if they proposed legislation that was very good for their area, but it had impact on my area that was negative, I have the right, because I have the obligation to defend my people, I have the right to stand up and speak against that legislation to make sure I'm protecting my own electorate. And to me, that is genuine integrity. And if anything we need right now, we need trust in our government, and we've got so much work to re-establish it. I think the only way we can change this system is by changing the people in the system. So putting my hand up to have a crack.
Do you think there's any way that we can change the voting system so it's a bit fairer for the smaller minority groups instead of having the two-system party?
Yeah. Look, I think there's a lot of conjecture around the preferences. I do know that, and a lot of people want the first past the post. I do know that if we go first past the post, we're only ever going to be playing tennis between ALP, LNP, because they're the only two most branded brands. But the preferences do allow the minor parties, or what I call the integrity parties, certainly in this movement at the moment. These are the guys that aren't voting with the party line, they're actually voting with the people in the electorate. So that's what I call integrity. That's what they're elected by the people to represent the people. I do think the preferential system works. I think there's a lot of mistrust around the AEC and the counting process and, that whole audit process. Like one of the suggestions I've suggested to someone is like a citizen lottery that, let's say at each election, we have, say, 10 people all put up their hand that are prepared to be scrutineers. So they're independent scrutineers from the community. And each one gets a ping pong ball with a number 1 to 10. Then the Electoral Commission rolls the gold lotto ball. They pull out 4 numbers, and that number 2, if it's 2, 3, 4, 5, those numbers across the whole electorate are the people that are nominated to come, and they do a second count. So the AEC do a count. The citizens then get to do a second count. Those people would need to be sworn in because it's a very responsible role there. They need to be temporarily sworn in, but at least we then have some transparent, accountable process to validate that this can't be corrupted, because our biggest concern at the moment is trust in our government. So let's get the citizens back in control of some of that process. Yeah,
I don't like how they do deals behind closed doors, that nobody knows what's going on until it's sealed, the done deal.
Well, keep in mind that changed in 2016 now, where the party can't choose where your preferences go now. You, as the voter, now choose where they go. So if you decide to go, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just from the top to the bottom, then your votes would be allocated that way. But if Sam decided to go 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, those votes would then be allocated Sam's way, because it's done with your pen, no longer by the party. Where it does come into alignment is, let's say there's a balance of power situation where they might need to form our government. So they may need our support to form a government. It's at that time where the disclosed preferences might be, because that would come down to the policy, but it's at that time when we have our most power to negotiate the best possible outcome for our own electorates. So that actually puts us in a good position.
Yeah, how do you feel about other politicians, not mentioning any names, making big money from China
Mate, did you
and trying to run as independents? Yeah, let's hop out of the rain, sorry.
Look, it's conflict of interest. That's one of the reasons why.
That is a conflict of interest.
It's why I joined One Nation. Pauline has never ever promoted self-interest in any way, in any policy. She's only ever focused on looking after Aussies, and Australia itself as a country and as a nation. There's no backdoor deals that can be done, or coercion or financial benefit. And the thing I like is they're not career politicians. Yes, they've been in there a long time, but these are genuinely good community people that have a passion to try and get the best possible outcome for Australia. And that's just why I signed up on that team. There's just integrity in it.
Oh, well, thank you for this interview, and I'll put it onto YouTube. I am.
Thanks, Ange.
With your permission.
We've got a week to go, mate. The most important week of our life.
Go, Pauline.
Go, Pauline. Yeah. Thanks,
well, let's walk out, and I'll do. Oh, you've got the big sign out the front.
I have. So, I can't wait till the election's over so I can get rid of my ugly mug off the side of the truck. So.
Oh no, you're not that bad. I'll put a couple on the fence if you like.
You happy for me too?
Yes. Do you have some zip ties?
I do. And like I was saying to Sam, if I lose...
But the only thing is there's a lot of drunken idiots sometimes, so
okay.
like I said, they may get defaced or damaged, but we'll see how we go.
If I'm doing my job correctly, I'll have more to worry about than getting a few devil horns drawn on my poster.
I know they're upset about that in another state.
Yeah.
Devil horns. I think it's funny, and little moustaches.
I'll tell you what is interesting, Ange.
I'll just finish this, and thank you for this.
No problem. Thank
This video is authorised by Mike Kelly, One Nation candidate for Maranoa, 87 Yangan Killarney Road, Yangan, Queensland 4371.